All right, so last time we were talking about pricing power, right? And we also went through a model of how a firm can choose to maximize its profit when it has some pricing power. And in particular, let me give a quick recap of sort of how we can follow those steps. So follow 4 steps to maximize their profit. Step 1, we'll set marginal revenue equal to marginal cost. This is our following the golden rule. This will give us our quantity. We call that QM. We're looking at a graph, marginal cost, average cost, demand. We got marginal revenue, which is below demand and slopes down more quickly. So in order to maximize our profit for step number 1, we're going to find where marginal revenue equals marginal cost. So the marginal revenue line meets the marginal cost line. There it is. That's going to give us our quantity, QM. All right, next, we want to know how much we can get away with charging for this quantity. So we're going to plug QM into demand. That's going to give us our price. That's our new step from last time. Last time we had no control over the price. This time we do. So we're going to figure out how much we can get away with charging for this quantity. We're going to have to ask the demand curve. So we'll take our quantity, we will plug it in to our demand curve, and that will give us our price. And the last 2 steps are the exact same as they were for the competitive firm. So we're going to plug QM into average cost. This is going to give us our average cost as a number. And then we're going to get profit, which is quantity times price minus average cost. So over here, we take our quantity, we plug it into average cost. There it is. Follow it over. It's going to give us our average cost. And then finally, our profit is the box that is defined by the lines that we have drawn thus far. So go all the way from up this corner, all the way down to that. This is a general graph. This idea of this is how the firm would maximize applies anytime you have a firm with pricing power. Technically, you could even follow these steps with a competitive firm. It's just that a lot of them would be redundant, right? Because this would just be price, and then you wouldn't need to do this step, right? So plug it into demand, and demand will always tell you the same price for a competitive firm. So this applies anytime we have any sort of pricing power. But we've sort of been hinting at, we've been sort of in the background inferring that we're talking about. It's called a monopoly. And what a monopoly is when a firm, there's only one firm in the market, right? That's what a monopoly is. It's the easiest way to think about pricing power because it's obvious why they have pricing power because nobody's competing against them. Even if they don't have a barrier to entry, for the moment, they have no competitors, so they're good to go. And we're going to talk about some other ways in which the market can be structured and still give us some pricing power. But let's think a little bit more about monopoly here. Oh, yeah. And the fact that we're going to get inefficiency from this. We talked last time about how we get a deadweight loss. The optimal quantity will be right here. Right, marginal cost means demand. But we're not going to get there. So all the benefits we could have had from those units, minus all the costs, that's the deadweight loss, the surplus that could have been there. But it's not deadweight loss. And the reason the monopolist decides not to produce the efficient quantity is because the monopolist thinks, well, first of all, the monopolist doesn't care about the efficient quantity. If none of the firms do. The firms are not attempting to get to the efficient quantity. If they happen to get there, that's just sort of a feature of the market, how the market works. Here, the monopolists' incentives are not aligned with societal incentives because they think, okay, there's all these people out there who are going to be willing to pay more for my good than it costs me to make. So it would be efficiency improving to produce for them. But I don't care about that. What I care about is how I maximize my profit. And in order to sell to those people, I would have to lower my prices, right? And so, yeah, sure, it'd be great if I could lower the prices to just sell to these people, but I'm also lowering the prices on all these people. This profit box would get a little bit wider if I sold to more people, but it would also get a lot shorter. And I don't want that. I want it to be tall. And so that's why they choose not to produce the efficient quantity, because they think if I want to sell any more than I already am, I'm going to have to lower the price, and I'll lose more profit in lowering the price than I will gain in adding more people. Right? They're doing that marginal thinking in their